Much ambient light coming in. Just got done doing my live auctions, and I thought, I'm going to work on a project here that some stuff you normally don't see in the forge right there. But if you've been watching these videos, the past couple days, I've been forging out blanks for railroad spike knives. Now, railroad spikes are around a 1040 steel, give or take. And you can make a blade out of them. You can make a blade out of glass. You can make a blade out of copper. You can make a blade out of a lot of different things. And to make a little tougher edge, a little better edge on this, I'm going to try using some super quench. And I don't have any. But right over here, I've got all the stuff to make it. So, before we get going too far, be sure to like and subscribe, and we're going to get going. Now, I looked up a very basic recipe for super quench. And the instruction I got on this was pretty simple. And that was a 5-gallon bucket, approximately 5 gallons of water. Of course, if I have 5 gallons of water and I have all these other things that I'm going to put into it, it's going to overflow. So what I've done, I put about 2 gallons of water into the bucket. I need 5 pounds of salt. Well, this comes up a little bit short, so I already dissolved some salt in the water in the bucket. So we're going to put all of this, and this is not iodized, this is plain salt. This salt does not supply iodide, a necessary nutrient. It's my hot body, I can do what I want. It's just that way. So, the other ingredients are approximately 8 ounces of rinseade. I bought the cheap version of this. Now, whether that matters or not, I don't know. Well, this is 8.45 ounces, so most of it. I'm going to do this kind of by eye, because if I do it by ear, I'm going to get lots of soap in my ear. Terrible dad joke right there. And then they call for 32 ounces of Dawn dish detergent. And from what I've read, the reason behind this is something in regards to the blue dye in this. Once it starts going bad or starts getting used up, it turns green. So it's an indicator. Another thing that the recipe called for was the bucket to have a tight-fitting lid. So I don't know if that's due to evaporation or oxidation or what. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to start working on this, and then I'm going to start the forge, and we're going to try some mild steel and see if it hardens up some. Okay? So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And we're about to get started. I'm going to get something to sit on here. Cheyenne's getting ready to work on some handle material, which should be a cool video. All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do. I have some salt that is that's already in the bottom here. It's not all fully dissolved yet. Hell, I probably ought to grab something to mix this with, right? Hey, how about a bar of stainless steel? Because stainless steel is less likely to be subject to corrosion. And being that there's only 2 gallons of water, it may not dissolve all that salt quite yet. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do,
sounds cool.
It does sound cool. It sounds like gravel in there or something. Bastion, how's it going? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to empty the salt in here. Now I didn't read anything about anything being corrosive, but I'm still going to wear some PPE. I'm going to wear some eye protection here. And here's 1 pound, 10 ounces of salt. None of this is exact, and this may actually be, Super Quench may actually be very similar to an old formula for slippery brine, which would have been brine with maybe some soap in it, which would be here. So I haven't looked up slippery brine to see what all I could come up with on that, but we'll find out. Now, we're just about there. So this is the real exciting part. So why would you want to make Super Quench? Why would you want to be able to harden steel that is on the lower end of hardening? Well, let's say that you are starting out as a blacksmith or a bladesmith, and you're making things like your railroad spike knives, okay? Now, your railroad spike is a tough steel, but it doesn't harden a lot. And for better edge retention, even with a shallow hardening steel like that, this would most likely increase your ability to harden that edge more so. Or let's say that you were making, for some reason, you got a bunch of rebar and you were just wanting to make rebar knives or something that was just a little tougher. If you want to toughen that steel, harden it up more so, this is the way that it's supposed to work. Now, I've never made this before. I've never used this before. Closest I have come to is doing brine quenching or doing urine quenching. Which, if you watch my episode of Master of Arms on Discovery Channel, the flintlock axe pistol kind of looked like that thing on my arm there, the tattoo part. I did do a urine quench on a frizzen for a flintlock, and it did work. So it does work to a degree. So, hey Cheyenne, can I throw these to you? Cheyenne's off camera over here, so she'll be on camera in just a bit, guys. There's one. There's two. I'm going to do a third, but I got to empty it first. Oh, she dropped the second one.
I'll just bring it to the trash can, though.
So if you're making, let's say you're doing railroad spike tomahawks and you want to really harden that edge up a little better, you can do this. Now, there's no tempering afterwards. As much material as I'm adding to this, I don't think this is going to take a full 5 gallons of water, because I'm going to just, I'm raising that water level as I'm adding all of this stuff. How's it going, guys? If you haven't subscribed yet, great time to do so. Really, I should have had Cheyenne put on the safety glasses throwing stuff to her. Okay, so from what salt I've added here, there's a piece of cardboard I'll get out of there, and I think a dog hair. A dog hair ends up down in the shop. Dog hair ends up everywhere. 2,500 square foot apartment, and dog hair ends up downstairs in the shop.
We have a Husky Malamute mix.
He thinks he's a kitty. All right, guys, here we go. Cheyenne, you ready? All right, she got that one. All right, so I'm going to take my stainless steel rod. And it didn't say anything about if you have to heat this or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you this much, that right now, this is not going into solution fully because there's not enough water for it to go into solution. So I'm going to take another gallon here, and no, I did not buy water to do this. I bought water to drink, and then the empty water bottles, I do things like this, and we also do cutting videos, which you can expect a cutting video tomorrow when, possibly tomorrow when Cheyenne gets here to the shop. So right now I'm at 3 gallons of water. And, okay, yeah, that does allow more salt to dissolve in here.
Do you need me to fill this up?
I actually have 2 more I forgot to bring in. Can you grab those? Which I'm guessing I'm going to only be able to add a 4th one and a partial. All right, guys. Now, I'm not privileged to any instruction on how to mix this or how to add it, but here it said Jet Safe. This is a generic version of dishwasher rinse aid. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take this and I'm going to add it to the bucket. And it kind of makes it a toilet water blue, just really pretty that way. There's no way those are fitting in there.
No.
It said a 5-gallon bucket. It is not 5 gallons. It's a 5-gallon capacity. Okay, guys. Now it says 38 fluid ounces. So I'm just going to guess. I'm going to stop about in here-ish, maybe. With the Dawn dish detergent. Oh, I mean the blue removes grease on contact. You know, the kind with the duct. Let me stir this up some more. That is working okay. That is dissolving a bit better. Oh, okay, here we go. Bubbles. Now, I don't know if it's Dawn specifically or if it's just because it's blue.
It looks like toilet bowl cleaner.
And from what I've read is that when it's getting time to change your solution, it starts turning green. That's got to be pretty well. I mean, that's got to be at least 32 ounces in there.
How much is in there?
38 total.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would
that's
guess
about
that's
6 ounces.
probably, So now, we're going to see how much more.
It
Now,
smells
the salt is dissolving more. And
smells
slippery
really
brine
good.
would make sense because soap would be slippery and brine is salt in it. So we're going to see what we can do with this. Now next, Cheyenne, do you want to go ahead and start the forge?
Yeah.
What we're going to do, I'm going to keep adding water and stirring this, and we're going to do a test on some mild steel. Let me find some. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I have mild steel right here. Cheyenne, would you want to cut some of this? Cut 4 pieces.
2 to 3 inches long?
Yeah, just cut 4 all about the same length. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the rest of my water up until a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch from the top. And this looks more like fabric softener, it really does.
It smells like fabric salt.
And it's foaming up pretty good. But that is a massive amount of soap. Once more, I don't know why the tight-fitting lid. It could be to prevent oxidation, some type of chemical reaction with stuff in the air. It may just be to keep it clean. I really don't know. It may be to help with evaporation. All right, so we're at 4 gallons and we're going to do some testing on this. We really are. All right, guys, that took about 4.5 gallons of water to make this solution, and Probably cost me, including the bucket, $10 or $12. Now, if this works, if it works, I'm going to do a test to see how many railroad spike knives I can quench in this before I've got to replace it. Okay, so small thing, what I'm doing, I'm making super quench, which is a solution that is supposed to harden mild steel, wrought iron, things like that. All right. So we're going to use some of this this 1/2 inch wide by about 1/8 inch thick mild steel. This would be shallow hardening. If it's a 10 series, it's 10-18 mild. Cheyenne's cut it into sections, and we're about to test it out. So we're going to do an experiment here, guys. Let's see how this goes. Why not just use oil? Because oil is not going to harden mild steel. You're going to have something that reacts faster. I've got quench all 521 and all, but it won't work for mild steel. All right. Once more, if you haven't subscribed yet, this is a great time to do so. I'm going to slide this back. We got everything in view. Cheyenne, here's what we're going to do. We got 4 pieces. Okay. We have 4 pieces right here. This, we'll do this one. This is our control. So what we're going to do, this one will not receive any type of heat treat. No. No, we're going to leave it. We're going to use that. This will not receive any heat treat. Give me, do we have soapstone? Okay? Or give me a marker. So this mild steel, we're going to do a couple tests after we quench. This one will receive no heat treat. No, don't mark that.
Don't mark that one?
Don't mark that. We got 1, we got 2,
okay.
we got 3, we got 4. Okay? Just in case someone says that could be a factor, we know what they are.
I know, it looked like a smudge.
That could be a factor in how this is heated. We're going to bring it up to an orange heat, and we're going to let it cool. The first one is going to be air cooled. Our tests are going to be a file test, okay? A file test, and then we're going to bend it with a hammer. Now, to do this, we're also going to compare it to this. Now, this is milled. This has been hot rolled. So it may have a little bit of hardness to it. So first one, we've actually got 5 pieces we're going to test. And we're going to do these quenches and so forth on all of them before we call it good. So this first one, since we're going to allow it to air cool and then basically soften, we're going to put it in the vise, okay? So number 1 is in the forge right now. It's going to go in the vise. Can you give me something close a little closer? Alright, so we're going to take this one and we're going to put it in the vise, let it air cool. That might work. We've got the second one. We're going to take it. Go ahead and do it over there. I'll run camera on that.
Okay.
The second one, we're going to do a water quench. So the second one's a water quench, okay? You run the increased risk of the piece cracking since this seems like a water-based quench. I know hot things. Okay, Andrew Slauson, if I got your last name right, I hope I said it right. With mild steel, you can water quench it because even though it may harden, it's not considered like a cutlery grade steel, like 1095, 1080, anything like that. Could it crack? Yes, it could, but that's going to be an indicator that this did harden up. So I've got this piece right here that is still quite warm in the vise. It is being air cooled. We've got one that is just from the mill. That will be the first test. This one, Cheyenne is going to put into, let me turn around here. She's going to do a water quench.
How hot are we getting these?
All right. Bring it up to a nice bright orange and water quench it. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. I always feel bad when I get somebody's name wrong.
Ready?
Yep. Okay, she's stirring. She's making sure that you don't get a vapor pocket. Looking good. Okay. Looks good. Let's go ahead. Yep. So you can see here where some of that scale is blown off, whereas here we just have scale. Okay? So there has been some contraction. Something has happened there. Cheyenne, the second one.
Oil.
Okay, what kind of oil are you going to use? Now we've got Quenchall 521 that is $75 a gallon that we use on our good high carbon blades. We have canola oil. Why don't you use a Quenchall?
I was going to say, why don't we use the Quenchall?
Okay, we're using Quenchall 521 from Chance, courtesy of Robbie Bowman from Iron Mountain Metalcraft. Link in the description, people.
This one right here?
Yep, that would be the one in the bucket.
Okay.
Okay, get her up to a good high orange.
Yep.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, this is a great time to do so. Check us out. Let's see what we got going.
I don't know where that one came from, so I'm just putting it over there.
Which one?
The little medial ridge one, the dagger.
Oh, that one fell off over there. It's either pile steel or spring steel I was working on. Okay,
We're almost there.
almost there. We're going to do this, and it's going to be in the Quenchall 521. I don't expect that's going to harden up any.
I've learned my lesson with that.
Quenchall 521 has a, I think it has a flare point around 450 degrees, and she's putting 15 to 1600 degrees in there. So let's see what we can get.
Ready?
Yep. Okay, that's only ½ inch by maybe 1/8 inch. So we got a fair amount of smoke, brief amount of flames. Okay, so turn her over. That is
Some
with the
contraction has happened. If you
Yep.
look right there.
Okay, so what I want you to do, go ahead and just dip that in. That's still hot enough, blow some, no, that's just sizzling, that's not blowing
Nope,
scale
there
off.
it is.
A little bit, go ahead and clean her off in the water. You got your quenching in the oil. Orca Jr., I bet you're a very special kind of little guy. All right, next, the last one we're going to do in the super quench, okay? Okay, so Cheyenne is going to do this in the super quench. I'm going to move back. Now, Cheyenne, how are you going to do this? Bring it up to approximately the same temperature,
Same temperature.
and then you're going to put and just like do a stir type quench.
I'm going to do exactly how I did the water quench. Keep it nice and
Okay.
Don't want that vapor pocket. It can also not only will it kind of mess with our experiment because it's not the same exact, but at the same time it can damage the steel and we don't want that.
Gotcha.
We want to see what it does.
All right. Once more, if you haven't subscribed yet, we've got a lot of other videos and builds coming up, as well as pre-existing over 200 videos. Be sure to check them out. Swamp Thing, that is true. All right. So this is the one I'm expecting to harden up the most. We're going to check it with a file.
We're almost there.
All right. So we're coming down on, we're coming up the temperature. We're coming down on time.
Are you ready?
All right, Cheyenne, you are ready? All right, now, we don't know, this should be fairly safe. It's salt water and soap, but we are going to be cautious about it just in case,
That's why I'm keeping the glove on. Ready?
just in case we have any spatter or anything. When you are ready.
That was a lot more of a reaction.
All right, so go ahead and bring it out. Let's take a look.
Hey, there's martensite. That's martensite.
That blew a lot of scale off. That does look like we've got something going. All right. So, Cheyenne, let's go ahead and turn the forge off. All right. So what we're going to do, this should be cool enough. Yes, that's cool enough to touch. And, yeah, I mean, this is still slightly warm, but that's our air-cooled. Cheyenne, do you want to cut a small piece of that off so we can test it as from the mill?
Yes.
Okay. So, Cheyenne's going to cut another piece so we can test it as from the mill. We'll have 5 pieces to test and see what we can do. So, what we're doing, we've made some super quench using approximately 4.5 gallons of water, 5 pounds of salt, 8 ounces of jet dry type solution, and approximately 32 ounces of Dawn dish detergent. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a file test first. Cheyenne, do you want to trade me places here?
Let me take the burr off this one.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so
That tip is a little hot.
I'll let you get the camera, and I'm going to, I guess, use a double cut bastard file. So here's a Nicholson USA double cut bastard file. Here's what we have. This one's quite aggressive. It's still mild steel, so I don't expect a whole lot. So guys, this is what I'm going to do. This is what we have, all 3 pieces of 1/2 inch by approximately 1/8 inch mild steel from the mill. This is as it comes from the mill with mill scale, so it is a hot rolled. Then we have here that we've heated in the forge and allowed to cool. Reduce some stresses, should soften it up a little bit. Then we have a water quench, and it did blow some scale off. We have an oil quench in Quench All 521. And then we have the super quench. All right.
Which blew a lot of it off.
So first one, go ahead and come in from over there.
Over here?
Yep. So here's what I'm going to do. First things first, I'm going to put each one in the vise. And
This is the one that is straight from the mill,
yeah,
right?
straight from the mill. Okay, there's 3 cuts on it with the file with not much pressure.
Hold on. Come this way. And up. There you go.
That cut quite easily, as expected. The next piece, because it has been stress relieved, essentially it has been normalized, and this is 1018 mild, I'm expecting it to cut a little easier. It's really about the same. This one may have cut a little easier, but in comparison between the two, it's about the same. So I can't say that anything was gained on either one. Next, I'm going to go to the water quench. What do I got? Okay, I believe that's a bit harder.
It sounded like it, but
that
not.
sounded different, and it did not cut near as much as the other two. So there is some hardness gain from water. All right, here's Quenchall 521. And somebody's going to be like, yeah, but you dipped it in water after the quench.
It was already past the quenching temperature,
Yeah.
though.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so if I compare between water and oil, I'm going to say that the water was a bit harder than the one that was quenched in
Yeah.
oil. And that's what I would expect out of a low carbon steel. Now this is in the super quench.
That
Much harder.
really?
Much harder. Yes. Now, can you still cut it with a file? Obviously, a file is made to cut steel. It's quite hard, but that held up quite well. So we're going to go super quench. Do you want to pan over here? Let's try this. Super quench. So we have the two that there's really not much difference, and that is between the mill type, literally steel from the mill, weldable 1018 mild, and 1018 mild that's been heated and allowed to air cool. Then I look at the water quench. The water quench, it did not cut as deep or as wide.
Could you bring this closer? We can barely see this over here. There you go.
So that would, and it sounds different when it cuts into it. The oil quench, it seemed to cut slightly deeper than the water. So do you get some hardness from oil quenching and a quench in oil? Maybe. And then we have the super quench that I had to try a couple times, but it seems to have worked. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, because I don't know what the hardness is on this, I don't have an accurate way of checking Rockwell at the moment. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to take this. I'm going to clamp it in. And I'm going to take his hammer. Okay.
That was before it sparked.
That bent, as I expected it would. That is from the mill. I'm going to set that over here. Here's the one that
The control.
that we heated and cooled.
Yeah.
That
That
bent fairly
bent
easy.
easier.
Yeah, as I would expect on something that's been stress relieved. Now I have, which one is this? Is this the oil quench or the water quench?
That is water.
I don't think so.
No,
No.
this is water. That is oil.
So I do
You
water
mixed
then
them.
oil. Sorry,
Yes.
got it mixed up. So here's a water quench. I'm going to try this one. And I don't have a way of swinging this consistent every time. Okay. So I'm going to go with that. Did harden up a bit. Oil quench.
Up just a tad. Right there.
I guess I could have measured that so they're all about the same. And yeah, I mean, like it bent. There's a little more resistance to it. Super quench.
Yep.
And it could break. I don't know.
Oh.
There's a possibility I didn't do that right. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, super quench seems to be stronger. It really does. Now I didn't do that parallel because I hit this 3 times. I hit the others once. I know what I want to do.
What you thinking?
Well, it at this point it won't be a fair test because this has been stressed more than the others.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would like to do is take this after I did
That is a
bend-
different
this
grain
bent 90
structure.
degrees, but after
There you go.
that's with the super quench. So that could have hardened. Let's find out. So let's go ahead and bend this one down. That's just some little taps right there. And this is on the oil quench.
There it goes.
There we go. Definite difference in the grain structure. Okay, so there's your oil quench right there.
So the difference also, I'm going to show them real quick.
She's doing grain comparison. Okay, that's a water quench right there where it does harden up
The
some.
grain structure on the super quench is a lot tighter.
All right, here we go. Water quench.
That got warm.
It will from friction.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
That took one less bend than the other one.
Whereas the super quench did not.
Over here. Closer. Okay.
Okay.
Control.
Yeah, this is the one that's been
Air hardened.
not air hardened, but it's been cooled.
Well, air cooled.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm used to 5160.
Here we go. No quench.
So, Mark Yeager, this is a leg vise. Dustin, how old do you think this leg vise is?
Over 100 years. Okay, there we go.
I thought
we got tearing on that and everything, and that's pretty much what I expected from that piece. And that's mild steel that has been heated and allowed to cool. I'll say the super quench worked. I'm not going to bend this.
so.
down all
Swamp
the
Thing,
way.
it's the rinse, ease, whatever thing, the Dawn, and salt.
8 ounces of essentially jet dry
That's what they put.
32 ounces of
Dawn.
Dawn. It was 4.5 gallons of water and 5 pounds of salt.
Yep.
So guys, there you go. You saw how much that took. So here's what I'm going to do. This is the other piece of the Super Quench, and I expect it's going to break one bend out.
Absolutely, Nick.
Yeah, guys, that does harden up.
Yeah, it does.
That sure does. Okay, so yeah, it does work. All right. Well, good. That's like $12. I hope I didn't waste. And we'll be doing a bunch of railroad spike knives in Super Quench very shortly. Grab me a piece of flint.
I was gonna say it.
Grab me a striker and a piece of flint. Let's see if. I don't think it will. But we're going to try a hardened steel striker and then a hardened piece of mild that's been quenched in Super Quench and see what happens. Give me something with a sharp edge, and that right there.
Has a sharp edge too.
No, it's a sharp point. Let's see, does this have a sharp edge? Does that show up on camera?
Oh yeah.
All right. So that's a piece of file steel or 1095, and this is a piece of mild steel Super Quench. Okay, not hard enough to get a spark off of, but definitely hard enough to say that it did harden.
I was gonna say, when you hit it earlier, it did spark.
That was also steel against
That's
steel
true.
and a lot of force. And I mean, there's a possibility I may have caught part. I think I hit the steel, but I could have hit part of the vice jaw, which is not a high carbon either. But we'll see.
No, that's tool steel, right?
No.
Or what?
At this age,
wrought iron?
no, it would not be tool steel because I can take that file we tested that stuff with
Yeah.
and cut right into it. So we did get some different hardnesses by different quenchings. Now, what would happen if I took a piece of 1095 and super quenched it? It'd probably fracture out. I'm not going to recommend it. Even if you heat it up to near boiling, I would not do that. Would not recommend it. I mean, we could do it. It might be a cool video, but we'll see. Cheyenne,
That's almost
trade me places. Talk to the camera about this.
Flavor.
Look,
Or not flavor, color. Dang it.
all right. Okay, Cheyenne, so your opinion, what do you think about this?
So looking at the grain structure, you can see a huge difference on these.
Let me zoom in here. So I noticed what looked like a much finer grain structure on the
So if
Super
you look,
Quench.
you can
Super
actually
Quench
see
being
right
clear over there.
Yeah, this one.
And
You can actually see where a part of it, this is a lot more.
it snapped
refined.
versus tearing.
Yes.
It tore more or broke more than. Rick Rob, how's it going?
Which you can actually see where the tear happened through the steel.
Absolutely. So what we're looking at right now, trying to zoom out again. There we go. So what we're looking at is Super Quench does appear to be, it does appear to be something that is functional. It's gonna be useful.
Yeah.
Now, how far down into that steel does it harden? I'm going to say 1/8 of an inch minimum.
Yeah.
So could you potentially maybe get maybe almost like a Hamon, a quench line out of this. That's a
We're gonna have
possibility.
to try it.
I'm not going to try it because I'm just going to end up wasting time on that because it's not going to be something I can test it, but it's not going to do what I want it to. I imagine if we took a bar of steel, actually, that is something we could do. Cheyenne, start the forge. I have an idea, boys and girls. This will work. So I have a probably 3/4 inch wide piece of mild. Cheyenne, you want to cut a piece of this off?
Yes, about how
Okay.
many do you think? About 6 inches?
Sure.
Okay.
So I have an idea, something that we're going to try with this. Okay, expert crush, here's what's going on. We've created a solution of super quench in that bucket. And we have mild steel in, we used from the factory, mild, and then from the same bar, some that we heated and allowed to air cool, one that was an oil quench, one that was a water quench, and one that was super quenched. And this is what I'm going to go with. Oh, you don't have to worry about being burned, really. I have a theory. So if you want to hop back there,
Yep.
I believe that we can zone harden this. So would it show Hamon? Maybe, maybe not. There's no tempering on this because this doesn't come up to glassy brittle. What it comes up to is maybe a corn knife or a machete. Kind of springy, but will still take a set. There's quite a bit of forcement on it. What we're going to do, we're going to do a 90-degree test and see how much we can work it back and forth before an area cracks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Let's see what we can do here. Now I'm going to bring this up to temperature. Being a low carbon steel in the 10 series, being 10 series, it's going to be a shallow hardening steel. Now, being that it's not a cutlery grade, it's not an oil hardening steel, we've seen that even though it hardens some, it doesn't harden near as much as the water quench, and the water quench does not harden as much as the super quench, which is a real thing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Cheyenne slide that camera back, and what I'm going to quench a portion of that so that part of that hardens and part of it does not.
So we have someone asking, how do you prevent your anvil from ringing out and deafening you?
I've been doing this for 30 plus years. I don't. A lot of it, some anvils ring more than others. Some people will put a magnet on it. It does take some of the sharpness out. Some people will wrap a chain around it. I've never had much of an issue. I had hearing loss to begin with, so it wasn't too much of a factor for me. It didn't hurt my ears. Cheyenne, we're at temp. Do you want to go ahead and take that back a little bit, or maybe take it off the stand? Whatever you choose.
All right, guys, I'm kidnapping you.
All right, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to work this back and forth. Oh, well, that is weird.
Yeah, it feels
That's
weird.
almost like copper.
Yeah.
Soap fumes. And I want to hope that some of that hardens. I think I can see a temper line, a quench
Yep.
line. All right. That's still a bit warm. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You can definitely see a quench line.
So it is not ice.
What we have here, the dark area is an area that is cooled, and the blue area is the area that really did not cool as much. And then there's going to be an intermediate region
You
here.
can also see where when the bubbles start coming up and it affected
That may
it.
have been where I was holding on to with the tongue. So.
Maybe.
All right.
It did start bubbling quite a bit.
So we had Cheyenne try something here. I had her cut this a little bit longer for a reason. Guys, ready? I'm curious if that hard side cracks before the soft side. I'm not bending at the same spot each time. I know this just moved on me, but
I see a tear. It's starting to tear
I do too.
right
It's starting
there.
to tear right there in that dark. Is that in the darker area?
Yes.
It is.
So right there. So if you guys
So
look right here.
before we go too far, hold on. We have the soft area, the blue, we have the hard area that's a black, and then right in here, you can see a shiny region where that's starting to tear. This is also getting quite hot flexing it.
So someone put, I will be super happy if you tell what the liquid was and if it's okay your secret recipe.
The liquid is called Super Quench. It's something I just tried. It's a very generic combination. That's 5 pounds of salt and 4.5 gallons of water. That fills up a 5-gallon bucket. 8 ounces of essentially jet dry, what is it, rinses type, rinse whatever it is. In 32 ounces of Dawn Ultra, Dawn dish soap. Oh yeah! That hard area has definitely cracked a lot more than that soft zone.
And the salt.
Oh yeah, 5 pounds of salt in there. All right. Cheyenne, I know you want to.
What's up?
You want to tear some shit up?
Yeah, I'll tear shit up.
Are you wanting to vent again?
All right.
You want to get bent again?
Why don't you bend that instead? What's the rock will on that? I'm guessing it's probably in the mid 50s, maybe. Low to mid 50s. I don't know. And we could be using a bigger cheater pipe, but we're not. Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, this is a great time to do so. And we did the hammer test, and now we're doing the bend test. Cheyenne, you getting any cracking yet?
Not yet. Yes, I am.
All right, keep going till it breaks. There she goes. There she goes. There she
Twist the
goes.
chair if you want
to show them. Because you can actually see where it hardened. Right there, it's cracked even more. And this is a lot.
All right, cool.
Next pull, it should snap.
Well, break it. Come on. There she goes. All right, Cheyenne, take that, put it with the rest on the anvil. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. I want cut another piece about the same length, and we're going to quench the whole thing.
Quench the whole thing?
For a bike chassis, you don't want anything too hard because it can fracture out from vibration. So if you're looking for high carbon, I would go on the lower end of like a 1050, maybe a 1045. We do have some 1045 that we could test this in, that we might. We might do a 1045 super quench.
Do that instead?
Not tonight, but let's think about this. All right, safety glasses on, everybody. All right. I'm not sure what grade it is. The aluminum alloy, okay. On that, I'm not real versed in aluminum alloy because we work with mostly ferrous. With non-ferrous, it's generally copper alloys we do. All right, Cheyenne, it's on the anvil. Okay, there you go. Into the forge. Now this one, Cheyenne, this one we're going to do a full quench, and we're going to repeat this process. And I theorize that it is going to,
I think it's going to tear.
yeah. Expert crush for the aluminum alloy, I would recommend anything military grade possibly. And what type of, I guess I should ask this, when you say your bike chassis, you're talking, what kind of bike are we talking about? If you're looking at aero grade, yeah, I mean, I would think that would be okay. Okay, Jules OG, 4140, we do work with 4140 steel at times.
I make my hardy tools out of it.
Yeah, she uses 4140 for a lot of hardy tools, and sometimes we use it for like chisels, punches, axes, and hammers. Okay, we're coming up to an hour here. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is a good time to do it, people. We're gonna find out. And you know, we haven't been counting how many times we've been this, so if anybody has or wants to go back and look, hey, leave a comment. Okay, so Cheyenne's judging this by eye. I'm guessing we're over 1500 degrees, probably closer to 16 on this.
I want to see something.
On that, you shouldn't have to let it soak.
No, I'm waiting till all of it gets.
Yeah, get it all the same color, get it all an even color. Hey, that's all good, Expert Crush. I appreciate your participation and hope to get, working on CAD, very cool. I had and this is minimal, I'm sure, compared to what you do. I did have a CNC plasma at one point, so hey, my hat's off to you. Hold on, Cheyenne. Are you guys ready?
I'm impatient.
All right, piece of 1018 mild.
Ready?
We are not tempering at all. This is just a quench. There's a violent reaction like quenching copper.
Yes.
Cheyenne, I'm going to bring it here. So this looks very similar to the small piece. Yep. Yeah, that's where the tongs are grabbing onto it.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
I think this one is 3/4 off.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hold on.
So I'm going to do one side of this, and then Cheyenne's going to do a side of this. And should we? Will it? No, that one doesn't fit quite right.
I think I knocked the other one off.
You did.
It's down
I got
there.
different. These pieces of pipe are actually what we use.
Hold on. He's
No.
wider, isn't he?
It is, but that's shorter.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys.
Here we go. I'm gonna kidnap you guys so you guys can actually see it.
Here we go, Martin.
Yep.
She's starting to go.
Yeah, it's right at the vise. Right there.
Okay. This is quite hot now from the friction. This is what I can say on this is, one, I expected that to break a little easier, but being that it is low carbon, it's not surprising. It didn't get as gummy feeling. Does that sound right, Cheyenne?
Yeah.
Just trying to describe this to you guys about how.
Almost like copper.
Yeah, almost like copper. So it's almost like something that it's not quite as bad as being work hardened.
Hey, that's warm.
That is warm. Well, Cheyenne, hop back there. I'm sure they want to see you break this. We're just a little over an hour in on this video, guys. So here's what we're going to do. Cheyenne's comparing things.
So if you actually look, this is where it hardened. And that's where it just tore. This was all hardened.
Yep. Mike Osborne, I thought it would snap real fast as well. Go ahead. That's a lot tougher.
Yeah, it is.
I have never made, I've done brine quenches, I've done water quenches. I primarily do oil quenches on high carbon, but I am quite surprised at how much this did harden up. And at the durability, I mean, mild steel's made to be durable, but
It's starting.
did it?
It's starting to. There it goes.
Yep, there's crack forming, and
It even sounds crunchy whenever it breaks.
well, I'll be. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We got more videos coming up. I know Cheyenne's planning on doing some cutting tomorrow on some water bottles because I've got some water jugs here. And do you know what sort? Are you going to use the Banshee? What sort you got? Watermelon. I know there's some water bottles, some water jugs. What's the plan?
Most likely going to have my wakizashi.
You want to do the wakizashi?
Yeah, well, maybe. I might get my warhorse out.
Have you done watermelon video with the warhorse?
Not the warhorse.
Okay.
I've done a lot with my...
Cass Hanway Warhorse Katana cutting video possibly coming up soon, guys.
We did the wakizashi and then the satuichi.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is what we're looking at. For tomorrow, possibly a cutting video if we get some time.
Yes.
And this is what we do for fun. This is what we do for a living. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the links in the description. Iron Mountain Metalcraft, Robbie Bowman from Forged in Fire, Seasons 3 and 4, Episodes 5, who started Forge in Memory. His Iron Mountain Metalcraft link is there. And then, what else? We've got Forge in Memory Family, where you can watch in-depth, step-by-step builds by professional blacksmiths and bladesmiths, other craftsmen. There's TrentonTie.com for Purgatory Ironworks. There's a YouTube link for Purgatory Ironworks. And there is a Facebook link for Axon Main Forge Memory. If you go to that, it'll take you directly to our page, which may not have a lot on it, but if there's something you're like, hey, how much was that sword on the wall? Get a hold of us. Expert Crush, thank you very much. Mike Osborne, thank you. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, and we'll be back soon. I know Cheyenne's got some more handle material coming up. We'll catch you later. Have a great one.